All right, we're back. Do you want to know something? Food is the universal truth of life, right? It brings everybody together. You have to eat no matter what. People get really excited around food.
Not everybody is a foodie though.
Yeah.
And I've learned, I think that's like a very, when people are trying to get married, that's like a easy question. If you are a foodie and the potential person is not, like, this, just don't go forward with that. Like, that's not something you're going to change about somebody. Certain foods,
Don't go
maybe,
forward with that.
Yeah.
If someone's not
It's
a
like,
food,
because it's like a, it's not just about,
the
oh, do you
reason
like
why
this
I
one food or
rejected
that
you
food?
was because you were not a foodie.
Yeah, because some people are not interested in eating different things or eating out. And if you are, and the other person's not, it's not a good match. Like, that's like one of the basic forms of entertainment, especially as a Muslim, that you can do is, oh, go eat. Like, that's like literally all we do when
I
we go
think
out with
that is
friends and
this.
family. It's like, yay, we're eating. And so if you're not connecting on that, that's like right there for me a red flag. Like, in terms of like that pair, that person, maybe they really like home cooked meals, and there's another person for them, they'll provide that for them, and they'll love to do that. But if that's one of the things, something you like I think that's like a very like telling about a person.
That's interesting. I've been eating the same thing every day for a couple of
Gosh,
weeks now,
it's,
and
I'm
and I'm realizing that eating out culture and eating in general is like a spiritual disease or something. I think we need to like simplify it.
what do you mean by that? Like, it's like a spiritual disease?
When we look at where we're gonna go, we always think where we're gonna eat, and then we overpay for food. We make that the focal point of our get-togethers. It's all about eating food, and I think that just eating too much or always looking forward to eating, it takes us away from the essence of being productive.
I think on a daily, yes.
Yeah.
I think, but like when you are going out, because I'm like, what else am I gonna be going out to do, right? So it's like, oh, hey, we haven't had this kind of food or that kind of food, and especially if you enjoy foods, I don't think that it has to be for some people. Yeah, many things are extravagant, but I think like that's you and your lifestyle. You should know yourself and like, you know, assess that. I'm not saying that it's good for everybody or nobody's doing the excessiveness,
Yeah.
but I do think that like in my circle of people, it's like, yeah, eating is necessary, so why not have something that we all enjoy or try something new? It is like, for a lot of people, even if it's at home, if we're cooking all the time and only that, and it's like, you do it too much, that's also excessive, right? But that doesn't mean like we have to go to bland chicken and just have chicken and plain rice, right? I think we are given all these options, and
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, nobody's saying that you have to shortchange yourself on flavor or not enjoy food at all. But I'm just talking about the fast culture of just like Uber Eats and where we're gonna go eat and hey, let's get together in anticipation of eating and we're gonna go to the even if we're gonna go meet up somewhere like we're gonna go to a park, we're gonna connect with family or friends. It's like, but what are we gonna eat? It just becomes like so central.
like my dad likes to say, कुछ लोग जिंदा रहने के लिए खाते हैं, कुछ लोग खाना खाने के लिए जिंदा रहते हैं. Speaking of Indian
Khudafis.
food, a question I often get when I meet new friends is like, so do you guys eat Indian food like on the daily? What's going on? And I think that's such an interesting question because I'm always like,
Wait,
what
what's the
are we
question?
eating? Like, what do you guys typically eat for dinner? Are you guys eating desi food or not? I would still say our base is still desi. Like, there's still mostly desi food and or desi flavors. I won't say it's every night,
Yeah,
but
it's
that's
like
still
it's
like
like
the
American
default.
desi flavor. It's like it's like almost desi. Like you can't really tell where are you from. Like I would not just based on eating the food that you make, I would not I would not think that you're Indian.
That's great to know.
Yeah, because I mean like you literally don't even make biryani
Yeah, why
or
should I
chicken
make biryani?
65 or butter chicken
I
or
literally make butter chicken.
mm,
Yes, I do.
uh, uh I don't know about
This is
that.
what I think about everything. Why work slow and dumb and hard?
Why?
Don't work so hard. It's gonna taste
Don't
fine.
work so hard. Okay, if
Yeah.
you look at any desi food, it is a hardworking food. There ain't no
No,
shortcut.
there's
You be
many shortcuts
just
now.
put it in the oven and bake it. Just bake it.
Your mom already gave me the recipes that are the quickest and fastest hacks. So you think things and you know nothing about those things.
Okay.
You don't know, and your mom
Oh,
told me. It took
yes.
15 years, but I know all
Very
the
nice.
secrets, and I have been told not to tell you. So I will let
Okay.
you live in that until I have to tell you.
Well,
So
I'm looking forward to you cooking some of my mom's quick and fast
I
recipes.
literally make that one recipe like every time. Everybody
And,
knows it. If
how many
anybody's
times?
coming,
How many times have I asked for it?
every day.
Every time. When
Yeah.
when you ask
So-
me, hey, what should I make? I say I want that one thing because you make it well because you learned from the master.
Yeah, it's definitely very easy. So it
Great.
doesn't have to be hard. Like I said,
That's the
doesn't
one.
have to be
Okay,
hard.
look, in a in a
I'm sorry. Listen,
repository of
No.
Desi recipes, yes, there are going to be
this is what I believe.
some quick and easy.
Use your
This
strengths.
is what I believe.
Use your strengths.
Use your
If
strengths.
biryani's gonna take me so much effort and so much time and so much ingredients, and it may still turn out like
Then
mid,
never make it.
Why wouldn't I just pay somebody who can make it awesome? Because I can instead do something I'm better at. Instead of wasting my time and efforts and ingredients and my stress, I will stress over something else. And you make the biryani I enjoy. It's a happy, easy. That's why.
But
If
whatever.
somebody gives me biryani,
Also,
I'm happy I can buy something.
mutton biryani is the number one biryani.
Yeah, I would agree.
Definitely, and
Why
you know
would I try to make that when somebody can make it so good?
Why would I not try?
Why
wouldn't
try?
I challenge myself?
No,
this is what we
I don't
teach our
like to
children.
challenge myself in
Challenge
that
yourself.
section of my life because it's not my strength.
You know, you build new neural pathways every time you challenge yourself and try something new. So you should try to make mutton biryani.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Too expensive to try.
This is my whole issue. The thing is, like, when you actually try and you follow the steps, it turns out good. But the thing is, you decide that it's not going to be good. And so you don't even try.
I'm not even saying it's not going to be good. It might be fine. But it won't be fire like somebody else's.
Well,
So
obviously-
I don't have the time to just be eating fine biryani
Ma'am,
for 5 hours.
Ma'am, we literally teach our kids this. Practice makes perfect. You have to make the same thing over and over again in order for it to become fire.
I guess I just don't find cooking that interesting. It's not my
And I
passion.
do. I definitely do. I would rather, instead of going to work 9 to 5, I would rather cook.
I would rather go to work.
Let us trade spaces.
Oh, we say this all
Because
the time
I
in our
can
life.
marination, I can put it in the fridge, I can look at the cookbook, because this is science. You have that muska chicken,
I'd
and
rather
then
write an email.
You'd rather write emails than create
Done.
luxurious, decadent, mouth-watering, savory foods.
Yes, the cooking. So I do think of cooking as a good familial experience. So that is something that we're pushing the kids to think about more. Is like, what recipe do you want to try? So now I got these cookbooks that I really, really like, and I will recommend some to you. And I think that has been nice. Where Musa's picked out a recipe, and I tell him to pick from these certain sections that are called 30-minute recipes, and we've made them together, and that was really nice. Like, he was
really
very
good.
proud of himself.
They're really good.
And he ate so much more because he made it, and everybody in the family was like, yeah, Musa picked this, Musa helped make it, and that was a good experience. So I think cooking in itself is a really good experience as a family thing.
Also, I remember that you signed up Serena for these
that
cooking
was cool.
classes, and so it was free, and it was like sponsored by some like nonprofit organization that supports like healthy eating habits and stuff. So they would send us like a box of produce. Serena would have all these ingredients. They were already pre-measured and pre-labeled, which was really awesome. And then they would get on a Zoom call and they would do a live cooking demonstration. You just had to follow along. And it was a nice experience for us to bond together because I like to cook. and we got to do it together. And at the end of the day, we ended up with like really delicious meals that kids want to cook. So things you make with your own hands, and you put the effort in, and you try something new. It definitely makes you look forward to having that meal.
Now, those classes also boosted Serena's confidence of trying something, like even if it was like cutting something or making rice. Like I remember the first class, how nervous she was till the last one that she had. It was just like a confidence boost. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I can try it, and if I mess up, nothing really actually happens that's so detrimental, right?
Yeah.
One of the recipes had beets in it, and like I'm sure if I had just made beets, like nobody would eat it or care that much. But because it was made with a certain recipe and Serena made it, we all ate it and we all tried it. Not everybody may have loved it, but they're all now when they see beets, like, hey, remember that time we made that? And like, can we make it again? I'm like, did you like it? They're like, I don't really remember, but let's try it again. Like, so that was kind of cool to see too, like that exposure part of it. And I think exposure is, whether it's exposure to cooking or exposure to foods, that is like so key for kids.
Teaching our kids to make healthy choices is not super boring or anything like that, right? Like, yes, we have to talk about nutrition, but if you're gonna tell your kids that, oh, we have to eat healthy so your arteries don't get clogged, you're gonna lose them in like 1 second, right? This is gonna prevent diseases in the future. They don't care about that, right?
Yeah, one of my favorite Instagram accounts is Kids Eat in Color. Do you follow her? And so she explains things so nicely because it by age too, and like, oh, like orange foods like carrots and orange bell peppers help your superpower of vision, right? And like, so it's kid appropriate by different age groups. And even just talk about the colors. Like kids are so into like bright things, like all toys are bright and stuff. And so using that even as like a tool of engagement, I think that's really cool. And the best thing that I like from her is like, she doesn't minimize like junk food or bad foods that we consider like, oh, not good choices to be just completely no. It's like always there, but not as a treat. It's not like eat all your broccoli, then you get this. Because then of course they think that the treats are always going to be best, the reward. But it's just there, just like everything else, in a very small amount. And just mentioning like, hey, if you eat this, it gives you a lot more energy. This food gives you a little bit of energy. And right now we're about to go to soccer, so we're going to need a lot of energy. So which do you think you should have, right? So I think talking about energy, because everything does give you energy. Food is energy, right? And so talking about which is going to give you a lot more energy, which is going to give you less, what do we need right now? Because they're smart enough to figure that out. And using that positive language where it's not like demonizing something or making it seem so special that they're just like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, when my kids ever like eat too much cake at a party, naturally they'll get a stomach ache. I'll help them self-reflect that, yeah, your stomach hurts because you made the choice. You made the choice to just eat 3 slices of cake when you could have had just one. It's not telling them that, oh, cake is bad. No. Cake is good, actually. It's really good. It's delicious. How am I going to convince you that it's bad when it tastes so good and it's at the party that we're at? Right. Why would we be having bad things available to us at a party? The brain is like, the kid's child's just like, what are you talking about? What do you mean it's bad? It's on the spread. That's number one. Don't over exaggerate. Don't say that, oh, your teeth are going to fall out if you eat this, or, the monster's going to get you. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Treat them like another person that's just learning. Like, oh, that's what happens if I eat too much of this particular food. It starts with acknowledging the real world that you live in, right?
Yeah, any parenting that we're doing, or talking about, oh, what are the consequences? And natural consequences are often like the biggest way to teach them of anything, right? Whether that's time management or accountability, responsibility. Similarly with food, like you said, like if you're just not gonna feel good, oh, like why are you tired at the end of the day? What all did we eat today? What's missing from this picture? There's something that we didn't eat. Did we have any fruit today? Oh no, maybe let's eat that. How can we eat that during the day? Is that something you would take at lunch or in the morning? Trying to figure that out.
Tip number 2 is eat with your kids like as much as possible. You're leading by example. It's simple as that, right? And so as much as you can, family style dinners, sitting together, lunch on the weekend, don't just, eat by yourself and then force the kids to eat and you're just kind of like talking to them while they're eating or like making them eat something. No, eat with them and then enjoy that meal with them and be like, oh, it's actually pretty good, try it or whatever. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the kids only know what you give them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you overindulge at some point and then backtrack trying to eat healthy, it's just kind of like you buy your kid an iPad and you personalize it, and then you're like, you know what, I'm gonna take it back. It's too much. It doesn't make any sense, right? So you have to like I think enjoy with them, like when you're gonna go out and you're gonna like celebrate or you're gonna go to a party, you're gonna be like, yeah, it's okay, you eat whatever you want. So teach your kids to make better choices, but make better choices with them. They need to see you making good choices, because I made this mistake, right, where I would tell my kids to eat healthy, 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 and then in the middle of the night I'm ordering whatever, Taco Bell, ordering a pizza, and then they're coming down like, oh, they woke up from a nightmare. They're like, what? What are you doing? What's that black water that you're drinking? Leading by example is tip number 2 for me.
Getting them involved as well, like you mentioned the meal times, but when Musa was maybe like 1, he was like a 0 percentile and all the things, and the pediatrician at that point was like, oh, failure to thrive, you get a GI test and food allergies and this and that. Alhamdulillah, it was nothing. It's just like his body type. Like many people in a lot of Desi families, there's just some skinny people. And because he wasn't tired or anything like that, and so I did change my pediatrician to somebody who was like understands that and respected that. But one thing, we did have to get an occupational therapist when we were doing all this stuff, and she came to our house and she mentioned, putting the kids' plates and bowls and stuff somewhere where they can actually reach it. And I think that was like a really great point of advice. And so the kids are involved in even setting the table. Like, this is my bowl. Like, put the thing in my bowl. Even that makes a difference. Like, then also, like, by challenging them to try new foods, right? Like, okay, I know you want a burger, but today I made this. And so we are having this. And tomorrow you can have burgers. Tomorrow we have that on the menu. That's ideal if you plan out your meals. Like, we kind of semi-do that. But even if it's something new, maybe, or it has like something in there that you may not love, you can still eat it. And so when they get to a certain age, they're still gonna push it, but they can do it and they will do it.
Yeah.
And that, I think that you do that when they are able to eat on their own. I wouldn't put that on a kid who you're still feeding, because then you're just wasting your time. Mm-hmm. They're not understanding like what it is that they're not liking in that food, right? Like whether it's this caramelized onion, as adults we would be like, yes, that's so nice. Sometimes in some foods it's like very heavy, and says maybe a 7-8-year-old's like, I don't know what it is, but I don't like this brown thing. Okay, but you're gonna eat it today because it's already mixed in there. They'll take their time, but they'll finish it. But I'm not gonna do that with a 3-year-old who's just gonna like make me sit there the whole evening trying to eat that.
Some people say that if your child's hungry enough, they'll eat anything, so don't let them be so picky. But at the same time, you have to recognize that you might be feeding your child something that has a very strong smell or a very strong taste that they're not vibing with, and they're really struggling with it. For example, one of my kids really struggles with eating eggs, and I'm just like, it's eggs, oh, it's a staple, you have to. But one way we get eggs into his diet is through making French toast. He likes a little bit of sweet, so there's a little bit of maple syrup, there's the bread, but it's like doused and soaked in egg and sauteed on the pan. So you have to kind of test things, you have to get creative, and maybe that doesn't have to be his protein source. He can have other things that he does like, and at some point maybe he'll start liking eggs. So another key component is knowledge, but based on what age group you're working with. Work with some 5th graders before, right? And we're doing this class called Leader in Me. So you have to kind of lead your own life. You're the leader of your life. You're not going to be a leader of a community. You're not going to be president of the country, but you are going to at least lead your life. You're going to choose when to go to sleep and what to eat and all of that. So we were talking about healthy eating, and the 5th graders, they logged their food for 4 days. And then we assessed it on Friday, hey, are we getting enough from each food group? And then they reflected on that. And then the next week, they changed their habit, or they tried to incorporate more vegetables or more fruits or more whole grains, or more whatever it was that they were missing. And I asked them to reflect on, like, how does it make you feel from last week, or how you used to feel versus now. And of course, like, they're fifth graders, so they probably like ate like 4 bags of Takis every night. It did make a difference, and it made them realize what choices they're making for themselves.
I remember in second grade we had to log our food too. It was like, you were talking about the food pyramid or whatever. We had dal chawal, and I had to keep writing I'm having rice and lentil soup in second grade.
This is a major part of parenting, is teaching your kids how to eat, controlling what they eat, helping them make better choices, being a good example for them, and educating yourself and your children on what are oh, I gotta go to bed
Okay. Good
before
night.
I burn out.
Good night.
Good night.